Hey, it's me, good buddy Matt D, talking to you here once again in the game garage. Last week we did the old American Dragon, Jake Long, Attack of the Dark Dragon. I never got to the Dark Dragon. Never watched the show, so I never figured out what a Dark Dragon is. But this week, in our cavalcade of games, my games, in alphabetical order, we're doing ba-doom, American Girl, Julie Finds a Way. Yeah, so again, always the DS giving you crazy license things that I never saw or don't remember. This I was kind of excited because I was like, oh cool, like a non-licensed game, not remembering that American Girl was a whole huge thing. I knew it was a thing, but I'd forgotten, like, this is a license from a doll series, right? The American Girl dolls. Yeah, they made dolls and backstories. It's kind of like Cabbage Patch Kids in a way, but instead of each one unique, they just kind of made a couple and just build these elaborate backstories on a couple. Yeah, and this one, like I said, this week we're doing Julie Finds a Way. Look at Julie. Hey, I really like these painted covers. I thought it was for a book series. That's what I thought, which I guess still is a licensed game. Technically it is, because they also, they made these into book series. Julie has her own books. This plays like a book, but let's read the back as we do. Julie Albright is a fun-loving girl growing up in San Francisco. In the 1970s, Julie faces many challenges, including a new school, a new neighborhood, and new friends. Period. Explore Julie's world, interact with her friends and family, and play over 20 exciting mini games. All right, so yeah, there is 20 exciting mini games. You kind of unlock them as you play. The game, just real quick, because there's not a lot to the game. It's kind of like mini fetch quests for all my old heads out there. It's like if you're playing an RPG and you roll into a town and you're just like, dude, I gotta talk to everybody. That's this game. You just gotta talk to everybody. Every time there's a problem, just talk to everybody. Talk to everybody in every town, in every location, because one of them has the answer to get you to the next thing. And that's all this game is, with mini games sprinkled intermixed. I got to like 5 of the mini games. Anyway, journey with Julie as I got like 25% of the game, but I'll get to that. Journey with Julie as she tries out for the basketball team, saves a family of endangered bald eagles. Holy smokes, what? I didn't get there. And crosses the country in a covered wagon. Exclamation point! Train Julie's pet rabbit Nutmeg for the San Francisco Rabbit Show. I lived in San Francisco for like 2 decades. The Rabbit Show is huge. Everywhere. Dress Julie in your choice of groovy 70s fashions. Julie, the American Girl, celebrates the girl's inner star. Hyphen. That little whisper inside that encourages her to stand tall, reach high, and dream big. Period. We take pride and care in helping girls become their very best. Yeah, they misspelled this. They spelled helping EHLPING and best BSET, best today, period. So they'll grow up to be the women who make a difference of tomorrow. Let's look at this. These are some of the things you can see, and you will probably never be able to see that because I don't know how cameras work, but it is misspelled because this is a classy game. I got through exactly 25-ish%, probably just under 25%, and then I just couldn't play anymore because personally, y'all, I just got too sad. There's like a bunch of things I could really say about this. Like, I read the review, which of course was written by Jack DeFries. Jerk. Well, watchers of the channel know what's going on. But his article was annoying, but I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, sorry, I'm only laughing because not unlike America's Got Talent, there's a lot of callbacks in this episode to other episodes. It's a good channel. You should watch it. This game really, really bummed me out, and but this time it wasn't like the memories of America's Got Talent, which, you know, whatever. It's this actual game made me weird and nostalgic. I used to live in San Francisco for, like I said, for like 20 years, and this game was made in the mid-aughts. So it's set in the 70s, but it was made in the mid-aughts. The developers, I think they just walked out their front door and just kind of took photos. It looks like San Francisco in the mid-aughts, but areas of town that are still kind of old. Like Julie, I don't know, but I think she lives in like I think she lives in the Sunset. If other geography is correct, she lives just south of Golden Gate Park, but like maybe like 9th and Irving-ish area. Her mom has kind of a small shop, so that maybe kind of fits. And she like lives within biking distance of Golden Gate Park, but in particular, the San Francisco Conservatory of Flowers. You can take a bus to your divorced dad's house. That's the story. The story starts out, your parents are fresh off a divorce. Your dad lives, I think, in Pacific Heights. And then your mom just moved to the, what did I say? The Sunset? Inner Sunset? Inner Richmond or Inner Sunset, but I think it's the Inner Sunset. You can, again, so you can bus to your divorced dad's house, but the bus symbol is shockingly looks a lot like a modern day Muni. It's just, I don't know. It just reeks of a kind of very special kind of hard work and lazy. Because again, there's so it's kind of like these other girl games of this ilk where there's kind of an open 3D world, again, very much like America's Next Top Model. But this one has small maps that you can go to with little kind of 3D areas, not one giant. And I know America's Next Top Model did that too, but this does this to an even crazier degree. You can get extra clothes. You can look like a real, I don't know, man. You can look like a real hippie. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, this made me, as I was playing it, I just got sad. I spent most of my life and most of my romantic life in San Francisco during that time. And currently my ex lives in San Francisco. And like, there's a point where you as Julie, you go to your divorced dad's house for the first time, but your sister doesn't want to go because like she's not having it. And you're like, again, as Julie's a fourth grader, it doesn't like, why, my high school older sister, don't you want to go? And it really hurts. But then she goes to her dad's house to try to make it normal, but it's not the same. And then, but it's still kind of cool. But then she like goes back to her house and she's like, just has this line like, oh man, like it's so weird that like what was once my home is just now like dad's place. And you're just like, whoa, ouch. And all this like reminded me like when me and my ex broke up, like we shared custody of our dog Seven, and then suddenly I felt like a divorced dad because I would pick up Seven after work and I'd be real tired and we'd have to like figure out things to do, and then she'd be real tired but I'd be all excited to have her, but we'd end up just like taking a nap on the couch. And there's something about like then that just anyway, all of these thoughts just flooded me, and just again all these past romantic blah 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 as you're playing this game that again set in the 70s but looks like the mid-aughts. And again, places where like I lived in the Inner Richmond, like I knew all these places. And then the more uplifting and good it gets, because then you're like Julie, and you're trying to play basketball, and you're trying to get on the male basketball team, but you're the first girl. And trust me, Julie's gonna find a way. Woo! Like you get 100 petitions, and all this to say is that you have your whole world ahead of you, which also just bummed me out. It's again, this is kind of like a me thing. Like if I'm like sad, like if I look at like a Pikachu, it really fucks me up because like the the space between me and the happiness of that Pikachu is a gulf that I cannot understand. So then I just go deeper into a well of depression because it's like, oh, I will never get to that level of happy. And it's just weird. All that is to say is that after playing not too long of Julie Finds a Way, I suddenly felt the strong need to hug a dog. Like a lot. Like a lot. Anyway, I mean, that said, for this type of girl game, I did kind of like it more because it was more like a book. Like, again, it's like the line about the stepdad, like, well, not stepdad, but dad being like his dad's house. Just like that change of level and just, I don't know, it was heavy. And just deeper than you would expect a game normally to go, but you would expect a book to go. So it was much more like a book. Books are fun. And then it has mini games thrown in top of it, and the mini games are, as all of those mini games are, both impossibly hard and ridiculously stupid. They just are what they are. Man. Tell me what you're playing. Love you. Like, Shibe, Square, and all that stuff. Numbers, blow up. Me no work no more. It's done. Other fun things in it is a flashback where you can look at things of the era. I don't know, like, hey, this is the kind of hippie clothes, this is the kind of hippie movies. Like, literally, like, as if they're trying to, oh, and you befriend a deaf girl and you learn sign language. Yeah, this game's great. This game is great. It just made me sad.